I decided to get on here because I know that this would probably help some people going through this, and also to talk and to testify uh, how great God really is, and how He's merciful and He protects. Come on, what? He protects His people. He protects everyone that He creates. Okay, if you listen to Him. Okay, and so um, yesterday I went to work and I started, where you going? East staircase, no public access. She's going by this bike storage. Why are you always going by this bike storage? Come on. Might have to look that up because we don't have a bike or anything there. So probably somebody from my old building is over there. She likes to go by people's cars that she knows. So, come on, you. I'm going this way, buddy. Um, so, anyhow, I went to work. Um, as I was at work, I noticed that I was having these feelings of being in an accident, y'all. Like being in a car accident. I was not in a car. I was literally at work. And I literally was just changing my mind, like, to like, no, this will not happen. Like, seeing it, like, it will not happen. It will reverse. And the car will flip back. Like, as I'm sitting at work, this is what I'm seeing. And so, as I started doing it, I just started praying. Um, I start praying, around everything that is around me. And, I begin to, you know, keep going. Okay? Keep going about my day. All of a sudden, I'm thinking it's somebody else that came in and clocked in or something. I see, uh-oh, excuse me, y'all. Lou, be still. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get this poop out of our little parking garage. Because I don't need no fans. I don't need no extra stuff. I don't need no smoke. Um, shoot. Goodness, she getting it. Okay, so yeah, after that, I go and I pray. Um, I am anointing the windows, anointing the doors. Um, I anoint my forehead, and I go about my day. All of a sudden, I see look like a new person, but it looked like somebody who was clocking in because they're behind on our side where the other clients can't go past, y'all. Um, and I look and I see the person, then I don't see them again. The thing that popped up in my head was that this person was, whoever it was, like they was doing some cloaking. Um, and there's a lot of people who do cloaking spells or invisible spells. Um, and how you'll know it, you'll feel that person's presence. Sometimes you'll smell them, their essence, their scent. You'll smell it. Um, uh, yeah. Oh, sometimes you will smell it. Other times you'll see because it's only a limited amount of time. Hi, Rumi. There's only amount of time that they can keep that up. Okay. Um, if y'all see my face, I might have to make a video about that because my face started breaking out. But anyhow, so I saw this person. I'm like, am I tripping? So I didn't think nothing about it. I just remember, um, what was coming in my head once I saw the person. It was just saying, you know, um, somebody's doing a cloaking spell. And I just kept on. I prayed, kept going. This happened like 2 or 3 times. So the third time, I didn't even know my coworker was around the same time. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just, praying silently. My coworker comes around and says, I know I'm not tripping. Like, I know I be bugging sometimes, but did you see this man? It was like looking over you and then just like disappeared. So I'm like laughing. He like, no, I'm serious. I was like, and he starts explaining how the person looks to the T. Now I know that's God's confirmation letting me know it's on and popping. It's on and popping. It's a cloaking mechanism to to spot. And so I'm like, wow. And I'm like, you know what? I thought I was tripping too, but I kind of seen. He was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. He was like, you know what? I'm not even a person that won't believe in the same thing. He believes in God, but he's more of a what is he? Metaphysical something. He likes metaphysical, something like that. The esoteric thing. So to each his own. It's not my business, okay? I know who I serve. He cool with who we serve. He's like, that was evil. He's like, we need to pray. I know we don't believe in the same thing, but we need to pray for protection. Like that was so weird. Okay, great. And so, look at Rumi. Come on, Chew. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Oh, you smell like poo. Y'all still have a whole thing of poo around. And so, sorry. And so, I was like, well, okay, maybe. And I didn't, tell him I was already praying already. But he was like, no. So he goes out and he begins to pray and like blocking everything and putting crosses on the windows and everything. He's going out. And so I'm saying this because I got sick. If you're going through this by yourself, most people will make you feel like you're going nuts. Make you feel like you're going nuts. But if you keep going, it'll get better. It'll get better. One thing that I did this last week, and not just this last week, but y'all seen, I've been talking about cutting ties off from people and observing what why these little keeps coming this way? It could have went over there. Come on, let's go. And wondering, what is going. Come on, girlie. Come on. I don't even want her to stop because I don't want them to try to pet her. She's gonna start barking. Then they're gonna wanna, they'll be like, oh, did she bite? Then I gotta tell them that she's nervous, and then they'll be trying to get even more. And I don't. Come on, let's go. Good jobby, girl. Good jobby. So excuse me if I have to stop. Let's see if they gone. Trying to give myself some good distance before I finish this story, okay? Because I really don't want to get interrupted. I really don't want to get interrupted no more, but, it's outside. Life, whatever. And so, anywho, come on, Chew. We're going this way. Go this way. I still want to go to that larger part, so we're gonna go the other way. So yeah, my coworker is putting crosses on the door, praying. Like, whatever it is, I don't think it's coming. He's like, either it's coming for me, or it's coming for you. This is another thing that he said. And he was like, I think it's coming for you because whoever this person was, they was turning towards you. They was turning towards you, just standing. So I was like, Okay, he was like, you know, we started talking, chatting it up. I'm not even gonna go into super detail of what we talked about. But he was like, you know what, I'm gonna be praying because that's not even cool. Whoever's doing this, and he's like, you're not even the type of person, like, did you offend somebody? I was like, no. He was like, did you have anybody that you would think would do this? And I said, yes, a couple. Yes, a couple. I was like, but I'm going to let God handle it. I'm going to do my part and let God handle it. Ooh, thank goodness for the trash. Ooh, dog poop stank, y'all. Dog poop. Well, all poop stink, but I mean dog poop. Ooh, Lord, I don't know what they be. Ooh, they be eating freaking little pebbles and everything. Even when I make her food, it smells 10 times worse. Um, and so he's like, he starts talking to me. He's like, you know, you've been having, because I had the breakout, I had hives, I had all this stuff. And he's like, people who do this, they evil. Like, they try to get vengeance. He's telling me all this stuff that I already know. You know, and I know y'all could be like, if somebody was telling you this, you get irritated. But like, I already know. But I didn't. I didn't. You know why I didn't? Because it gave me justification. It gave me confirmation of what was going on. I'm not losing my mind. Other people can see this. Other people who can see this, who don't believe in what I believe, but they can see dead on what's going on, what I'm dealing with. You know, and that I'm not going nuts. Secondly, it let me know that I'm going to get set free. You know, it tells you even your enemies, when you do right by God and you act justly, even your enemies, people who don't believe in you, people who don't like you, they will have mad respect for you. They will respect you. They will have peace with you. You know? And so, you know, and he was telling me that takes a lot of courage, you know, not to do this and not to get, you know, payback, you know, right off the bat. And I was like, you know, talking about God, you know, that was my time to testify. Like, look, you know, people are going to get what they get. It's just tallying up. We all going to do it. We all fall short. But when you a believer, you cast that up to God and let God do that. You know, because people can be doing wicked stuff and God changed them and forget him. And that's what you know, that might have been a way to come into God. And other times, for the most part, God is rule over everything. So he's gonna deal justly, and he can take care of your enemies and anybody else better than you can ever do. Better than you can ever do. So come on. And so when you think about things like that, it gives you a little bit more come on, walk. That baby don't want to play with you, girl. I don't know why she feel like a baby. She gotta jump around. She gotta bounce like she know the baby. That's the only time when she's super friendly and food, because she'll be your friend for food. But anywho, it gave me confirmation that I was being set free. Not only that, God showed me like some like things, parts of it, not all of it, where it was coming from, not where it could be coming from, where it was coming from. You know, and why? Because let me tell you, when you pull back those strings and you pull back your energy, from people who are taking, you know, this is one of the things that I teach in my classes, especially when you're dealing with the homeless. You know, people think that homeless people, if they got mental illness and things, that they don't have strength and they don't have ambition. But some of those people are some of the most helpful, dynamic people that you have ever met. They have been abused, mistreated by people who are supposed to uplift them and give them help and to make them better. But instead, these people took advantage by portraying their weakness and acting like because they had a disorder or had some hardship that they was kept or unqualified to do certain things. And so you have you have a lot of people who, you know, they feel lifeless. And then as they telling a story about what's going on, a lot of people don't even believe them because they like, okay, well, if this happened to you then, why are you going through this over and over and over again? Because you don't know how to work it out. They never know how, if you, you know, that's just like you learning timetable. Come on, walk. That's just like you learning timetables. And you, in order to get to the next grade, you don't, you got to know what 2 times 3 is. And you don't get it, you're not going to be able to pass. You're not going to be able to pass. You can find how to add and everything, but you don't know how to multiply. And you never learn, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck there unless somebody helps you and push you forward. And then you're going to be even stuck even more because you get to the next task, and that task is going to be harder because you didn't learn the basics. You know, and that's the same thing that people go through when they're dealing with these attacks, because a lot of people will have you looking at it from a natural view. Oh, this person, you know, suffered from mental illness. They need to get straight medication. And let me tell you, I'm not against having medication, because some people need it. Maybe a lot of people need it, but that's not always the case. That's not always the case. And it should go by a person basis, not just a universal form or a spectrum. So yeah, it was just giving me, come on, it was giving me confirmation on that. Like, yeah, I'm trying to run across the street to the other park. This is where we have our little big pavilion things. They're gonna have a fiesta, the Latin fest, no, they call it the Mexican festival, but it's like a kind of Cinco de Mayo kind of thing, 2-day event. Anywho, back to what I was saying. It gave me Luna, we just came from there. Come on. It's gonna give you confirmation. It's gonna give you that confirmation, that validation that you need. Because when you're dealing with this and it's so odd and it's new to you, when it's new to you, it'll frighten you. It'll frighten you. You know? So you seeing somebody else that knows it lets you know that you're not going nuts. You know, and now you got to tackle the issue. The other thing I forgot to even say before I even went to work yesterday, I went to my bathroom, and because God told me, you know, some things was going to change or whatever, and telling me to get prepared. Okay, so did that. Okay. As I'm in the bathroom, I smell this horrible stitch. It wasn't like sulfur. Usually I'll smell something like sulfur, and I know that what I'm dealing with. This one was something, it was totally different. It was like ammonia and like trash, like a dumpster dump, you know. And so when I smelled it, I was just like, "Ooh, God, I rebuked that," and went on out. I had to go to work. I didn't really think about that, you know. I was just like, I gotta go to work. I don't want to be late. I don't want to be dragging myself. Whatever. And so when I left, that's when, you know, I mean, not when I left, when I was at work, when all that happened, it made me start thinking about what happened when I left. And so when I came back home, I went and I'm like, I had some other stuff to do, but I literally just prayed. I kept, scriptures on, high elevation music. I tried to do the most because I knew I had been set free from stuff like this before. So I knew. And like, once you go through this, even if it's on a higher level, it gives you more confidence. It's going to give you more confidence. You know, at first I used to be fearful, but going through this quite a bit has given me so much confidence, if anything, that knowing that I can overcome it. And not only that, I can conquer it. I can conquer it. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. When you go through this, because I know if anybody's looking or listening to this, when you, oh Lord, when you go through this, because God is gonna start showing you stuff. It ain't even gonna look like it is, but I'm telling you, it's gonna. When this usually happens, it's somebody that is close to you. It can be family members. I've had that happen. And it tore me up for a minute. Okay, family members. It could be so-called friends. Be careful if somebody talking about they your friend and you just met them and every 2 days they got a new friend. And then 10 days after that they mad at that friend because they didn't like something they said and everything else. Like, and they offended about everything. Like, not to say that always happens, but most of the time that's the person who was really unhappy with their life, like unhappy, not doing anything, and expect people to do the work for them. Expect not to get things in return. You know, when God showed me one of those, like what I was going through and who it was connected to, this person never, when I say they don't take accountability, and I had to take a reflection of myself, like, why am I connected to this person? You know, why do I think I need to stay close to this person? You know, if you see this person not taking accountability, they leave a drainage. They drain you. They drain everything out of you because now you got to take the load of accountability because somebody has to. No matter what it is in their life, they don't take accountability. And they feel like they always, you know, the bad guy, you know, always got the short end. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Especially if they older, because that means they never learned the lesson. Like, and not only that, they're gonna punish you. They're gonna punish you for being set free for taking accountability. Okay? When I saw this, and I saw it from, you know, when God was showing me who it was, y'all, I was like, okay. You know, I had already felt that. The other sign, which was one of the main signs that I knew for sure who it was, not just because of the person that they had hired, because this was a hired person. I'd never seen this person. God definitely told me this person was hired. When I'm around this person, I'm physically and mentally drained. It'll be 2 minutes of happiness. They'll act like it's really happy, and then you're mentally drained. It's like they boost you up on a high, then it's you, and then you're 12 times drained, and they got all this energy, and then you don't hear from them. You don't get away. When I say get away, baby, run away, run away. Ooh. Okay, yeah. And I started seeing the change. Girl, get out of there. And I started seeing the changes really quick, like 2 weeks of being away from this person. And another thing is, if you start pulling away from that person, you know, because everybody be like, oh, if I pull away from my friends and, you know, I don't hear from them and they don't respond back, then they're not a good friend. That's not always the case. People got stuff going on in their lives. They really do. The world does not revolve around you. I had to learn that, and other people need to learn that too. But it does, this is true if you are, oh, okay. Oh, that was nice. It is true if you, if you pull back from somebody and you think that they doing something wicked, intentionally, they're doing something wicked, and you start, you know, praying, you start getting yourself centered, you start getting yourself back, you start feeling healthy, and all of a sudden, when you feel that real huge brink, like you feeling good, really good, and they pop up, that's a huge indicator that they was doing it. They was doing it, okay? And I will tell you this, because I used to be a person that confront people. Like, I know you not trying to do this to me, because if you do, I'm sending hot, fiery ones to you. But I learned that's not always wise. Sometimes the wisest thing to do is just give them distance, make them think that you don't know, get them some distance, and live your life and become better. Because once you become healed and you're away from people who are sucking your energy dry, literally, spiritually, and physically, they're sucking you dry. I'm telling you, when you start vibing high, when you start feeling your best, you start doing your best spiritually, mentally, physically, it's going to be harder for those people to come around you. Not only that, it's going to be harder for them not to show what they have been up to. It's going to be so hard. Okay? So, ooh. So yeah, keep that in mind and stay away from them. Let me tell y'all, I told y'all the person, Old National Bank. Huh. Why is Old National trying to get me? Thank you, Old National. That's the one who wanted me to be on a panel. Interesting. Dirty little secret. Okay. But yeah, like I said, when I pulled back and I started focusing on myself, getting, pulling my energy back, asking God to restore back what was stolen from me. The first person, and this happened to me. This wasn't the first time. This was like the third time I did this. Every time this person would try to show up, or I would have an urge to go by this person all of a sudden. And you definitely don't want to see them at all, and you have a super urge. That means they it could be like, oh yeah, your mind playing, because people gonna say, oh, it's your mind playing on you. No, when somebody does something that horrible to you or try to betray you or do something, and you've already put it in your mind that you don't want to have nothing to do with that person, but all of a sudden you drawn to that person, and you be like, I don't even know why I wanted to come over here. Like, it seems unlogical. You can't understand it. People will be like, oh, that's a two-faced person. No, that's not always the case. Sometimes these people be doing that stuff. They be pulling you, spiritually pulling you, calling your name, pulling you to them, against your will. That's why you have to stay prayed up. In order to be set free, freedom comes with a cost. You ain't got to eat that bread. Freedom comes with a cost. Okay? It's easier to be a sheep than it is to be a shepherd. It's easier to be a sheep than a shepherd's dog. Okay? Because you got to be alert. If you're a dog, you got to look for the prey. Sheep ain't got to do nothing but eat and follow. Eat and follow. Eat, poop, follow. That's it. Ain't got to worry about its safety. None of that. Okay? But with this, you definitely have to watch out. And I'm not saying be fearful, because at first I told y'all I was fearful at first going through it and going through that awakening and everything like that. But after going through it for years, it has gotten me so much stronger. I'm so grateful for the experience. Like, I don't count it as defeat. Even the ones that I thought that I lost, I won. The ones that I was weak at, the ones that I didn't understand, I'm grateful for, because it showed me what spiritual warfare really is. It showed me that there are people who will be so kind and loving and act like they love you and hate your guts. Okay? There are people who smile on your face every single day and wish that you do not make it. Okay? And that's what it let me know. It let me know that there are people who actually do want to see you do well until you succeed over them. You bypass them. Why is all of a sudden these cars coming over here? It has let me know quite a bit about life, about protecting yourself, about covering yourself. Oh, it also let me know, I forgot. It also let me know that just because God is in control of everything. Just because someone doesn't look like you or speak like you or talk like you or worship the same God as you does not mean that they want to attack you. Does not mean that they want to have harm against you. Because some people and some religions be trying to make you feel, some religions be trying to make you feel that way. Like, just because this person believes a different way, they want to harm you. No, that's not the case. Now, some of them do, but not all of them. And believe it or not, there's some of them that look like you, talk like you, act like you, smell like you, and they don't want nothing positive from you. They despise everything that you do. I noticed that when I started my business. And I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. I had people who was around me all the time who were into the products that I was in. They loved the products, but wouldn't support me. But want to get the stuff for free, don't want to support me. And then I have people who are strangers coming in. I don't even use the product, but I'm going to support you. I like the product. I support, you see what I'm saying? So that's the whole process for me for being set free. Being set free is knowing that, if I keep going, well, no matter what, I'm okay. No matter what this world is trying to offer me or trying to give me or trying to push down my throat, whether I have it or not, I'm okay. So yeah, and also with that evil person, like, one thing you gotta understand, even if they monitoring you, people who are spiritually monitoring you, okay, by means of cloaking, it's a common tactic, believe it or not, it really is. Come on, by cloaking. And say for instance, somebody's doing it. I wouldn't say, that you should always attack, especially not physically or telling other people, because it'll make you look like you nuts. Some people, they want you to go that route. They want you to, say that, so then they can use that against you. What I would say is just pray in the spirit. Whatever they trying to do, let it not come to pass. Anybody who's trying to send something, let it fall and be dismantled. And if they keep doing it, let it fall upon their heads. Let the ditches that they dug for you be for them. Keep doing good, keep praying. It's going to get better. Did I tell y'all once I started detaching, things started getting lively in my life? Even as far as my car doesn't look like a swamp. When I was around this person, I couldn't understand how my car was looking like it was looking, y'all. I would get it detailed, I would get it cleaned, and the next day, or even the same day, within hours, my car is messed up, y'all. My car junky all in the inside. I'm like, what is going on? And then I would take the time to go clean it. It's back. I'm like, how? A lot of times it was me putting in stuff and moving and all that, which I had to get close with my mind. But other stuff, it was other people. When certain people got in my car, when certain people, I could count on my hands, when certain people got in my car was going to be junky for the rest of the week. Take notice of those things and make necessary decisions, make necessary cuts. You got to think about it, that it's going to hurt some people's feelings. And to be honest, a lot of those people that you talking about, that you worried about hurting feelings, they don't give a damn about yours. When I say they don't give a damn about yours, I mean it. Some of these people are wishing harm on you. Are wishing that you are not present anymore. That's how these people are. The same person that I'm talking about, I had a instance with them that I didn't even pick up when I was hanging out with them, because I had took some time, and I'm like, man, it just seems like this person is like they like me, but they really don't like me. You know, I had this person stay in my house to watch my dog, to watch my little dog. I want to show y'all, see my little dog, okay? To watch my dog, okay? All this person has to do is to let my dog out. My dog entertains, really, for the most part, herself. She's one of those kind of dogs, like loners, kind of, she does her own thing. You know, she has a tablet. I got food in my house, everything. It's not a messed up place at all. You know, that's all they had to do. This is what they agreed on doing. And they only had to do it for one day. One day, y'all. Because I went to our capital. And let me tell y'all, when I came back, I'm like, how was she? How was everything good? Tell me why. This is how I know this person. I was like, did you take her out? I'm telling her the time schedules that she needs to take my dog out. Like, these are the times around, not the same exact time, but these are around when she wants to go out. My dog will sit at the door. If she needs to go out, she's going to ring the bell, or she's going to, if you sleep, she's going to jump and tap on the bed so that you can get up and let her go out. And if it's early in the morning and it's before her time for her usual walk, she's going to use it and come back in. My dog is 7 years old, okay? When I came back, tell me why I knew that she didn't take my dog out. It was poop on my floor in the other room. And when I spoke to her, like, oh, I didn't know. How you didn't know? How didn't you know? And I know people want to be like, well, dogs make accidents and they do it every time when they get nervous. This is not the case with my dog, with this person. Like, my dog knows this person. This doesn't happen, okay? Not only that, when it does happen, listen, you know how poop smell. You know how dog poop smell. You're going to be able to smell it. And she was in the direct next room when I came home. Did she get it up? I smelt it. That's how I ended up. No. You know, another time was, this person started hanging out with different people, like every 10 seconds. Every time you look, it's, oh, this is my new friend. And I'm like, how can this person be your new friend? You just met them. Right? And they're like, oh, well, this person is bad. I don't like who they're with and blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, if you don't like who they're with, stay away from them. Like, what's the big issue? And they would just say little, just weird stuff. So I'm like, okay, why don't you just get away? And I noticed that they took offense when I said, just move around. Like, and not only that, when I came, and it was like a couple of, I want to say weeks later, because I had already gave myself some distance. When I came around them, come on, girlie. When I came around them, guess what? I overheard the other girl that this person was talking about. They talking to each other, and the other person is telling her, stop being jealous of Belle. Stop being jealous of Belle. She has her own life too. Why are you getting mad because she didn't do this? So I'm sitting here like, that's the same thing you told me about this person. So, y'all, be careful. When you see that, that's the automatic sign. That's the automatic sign to move around. And a lot of this come from childhood, when they had a brokenness, they feel like they entitled, they have some wounds and they don't have the time to heal it. So now they mad at everybody in the whole wide world, and they feel like, you know, because somebody did them wrong at home, usually a parent who was neglected, you know, voluntarily or involuntarily, you know, they'll feel like they're entitled instead of working on themselves, understanding that what happened to you as a child was out of your control, but what happened to you as an adult is in your control. You need to, and you know, work on that. Y'all, I jumped. And I'm from the hood. You can't do that. That little backfiring, I ain't heard of backfiring car in a minute. Get away from that mud. Come on. Oh, shoot. And so, these people will, man, they'll be vengeful. Like, even if they not wicked, they'll be unbearable sometimes. Like, until they heal themselves. And I got a relative that's like that. I even had to go through an experience like that. You have to heal yourself. But these people don't. And what they'll do is try to, I should have this. I remember when I had one of the pageants that I was in, and all the work, they see me do all the work, and they like, well, I should be, they didn't say, well, I should be in the pageant. Oh yeah, I was telling them I went for New York's Fashion Week, right? And this person, well, I should be modeling for New York Fashion Week. Well, I guess we need to do it together. And I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, I mean, if you want to go and do it, but yeah, but it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to get referrals. They have other places where people like pay to get on Fashion Week, but it's not like big, huge, just for something else. But usually that's not how it goes. They have to look for you. They're coming out for you for a reason. All the hard work that I did didn't mean nothing to this person. They just feel like they're entitled to your things. Another thing, this person felt like they were entitled to my car. I should have been picking them up and taking them to work. Like, what the? Are you serious? We don't even live next to each other. First of all, you're not paying me gas. Second, no. Like, they will feel so entitled. And when you don't, they're going to act a plumb fool. I remember when they came with extra mess and when they was, being manipulative, because they would try to turn people against you, just like they tried to turn you against them. I remember the one time that she wanted me to take her to work, and I'm like, no, I don't have any gas. I'm not going that way. You asked me to come over to go and, hey, like, it shouldn't be extra stuff, like, and I'm like, okay, I'm on my way out. This person was being very manipulative, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let somebody, I'm thinking in my head, because out of the kindness of my heart, boom, I'm not gonna let anybody miss their time at work, because I always tell people, get your money. I go and take this person, and I'm like telling them, like, okay, well, I really wasn't going this way, but I don't want you to miss stuff. Let me tell you, had the nastiest attitude. And not only that, she slammed my door. I wanted to get out and start fighting her. If this would have been the old Belle, I know I would have been fighting her, and I know I would have been fighting her family, because I know they would have been like, well, why you do that to... Don't ever try to touch my property. So after then, that was already a strike, and I had already gave some space. But I noticed some evilness happening after that, when I gave some space that time. But this time was even more. It was like, okay, I get it. So I know that was a long story, and it talked about different topics. But these are all the cords that I had to pull up, and I had to dig out. This is a ever-changing cycle. When you go through life, everybody has to go through this, unless they're ignoring it, and they will feel drained and tore out. If you don't take care of your mental and your spiritual health, you will be drained. That's why you see them older people, and they tired, because they taking care of all these people who didn't take responsibility for their own actions. They didn't take responsibility of what they were supposed to do, and instead they want to dump it on everybody else. And make you feel bad. No. You gotta unhook them. And when you do, but don't go on a big spree of telling everything. This is why I'm on this platform and not TikTok. Because that person makes fake accounts to go and follow my content. You can block somebody and they make fake content, or restrict them to see your profile and stuff. They over there making fake, because they already know something going on. They already know. So yeah, just stay away from it. Stay far, far, far away. And to understand this process, I'm not going to try to lie and tell people that it's going to get better. It's going to get harder the higher you go. The more peace you want, it costs more. You got to be more protected. You got to be more guarded, But it'll get easier over time, because you'll be able to detect right off the bat what's not going to work for you. You'll be able to detect when people who are, not for you, or when things don't seem right. You'll be able, and it don't look right. It look like it's right, but it don't seem right. It don't feel right. You'll be more intentional about how to move about things. Your emotional intelligence get better. So, and you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain. So when you're younger and you be like, you trying to not hurt other people's feelings, you want to explain. But I done got to the point now, like, it's either you or me, especially when you're trying to take my life, my essence. You're trying to take everything away from me. I've had that happen too many times. You understand you got to make a choice, either you or me, and it's going to be me every time. So you stop explaining, you just do. You just do. And let them people who judging you and saying all that stuff, let them be. Let them be. Because at the end, they'll be able to see. But at that time, you don't care about the people who want. Come on. She done stopped and looked at the doggone car like she going to the car. Good job, girl. But you're not going to... Those people who are looking at you crazy, they really wasn't for you anyway. Not only that, most of them are lost. You'll be surprised these people who are older than you and don't have wisdom. People who are older than you and never took time because they wasn't trained to do this. Can't knock them, but some people just was refusing to elevate. Some people were refusing to be better. So, yeah. So take care of yourself. Take care of your spiritual health. That means separating from people, recharging yourself, protecting your space. Do just that. If that means leaving a place, do just that. If it means, I said separating. If it means being away, listen. I am the queen of being ducked off, and people think like that's a horrible thing. Like, no, I can't, because I know with my things with boundaries, I love to share. I love to be open. So me, there's some people who can be around all different types of people, and they have little compartments where they put every single body at, people I do have compartments. People say I compartmentalize a lot dealing with people. But I am, as far as sharing happiness and good things like that, I'm very open. I'm very open. So me, I have to be very, very cautious. Sometimes I have to pull back because I'm more invested. And not only that, I'm not only invested in my happiness, but the people around me, because it depends on your whole circle about how you gonna get up and do all this. So I have to pull back. I have to pull back to look at things from a different angle, or to recap or refocus. So don't feel bad if you got to do that. It's all right. The people who know will know. The people who are for you will be okay with it, okay? A lot of these people will be mad at you because they can't control you no more. They can't control you. They can't put you in fear. They can't do all dumb stuff. They just can't. And they know that. They know that. Okay? So, yeah. I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.